Hey guys, today we are looking at Go Math Lesson 9.5. We are going to be exploring numerical patterns. Let's get started. Hey, numerical patterns is not too bad. All you're doing is using sets of data to try to figure out patterns. And then you could use that data to then make line graphs or line plots. All right, let's take a look at the one that they did for us, number 1, and see how they found the missing number. In this set of data, they're looking at swimmers, the number of laps they complete, and how many yards that is. For example, if one swimmer swam 4 laps, that's 200 yards. If 2 swimmers swim, that's 8 laps, and that's 400 yards. So what I'm trying to think in my mind as I look at this pattern is, what is happening here? How did they get from 1 to 4 to 200? How did they get from 2 to 8 to 400? Well, I know 1 times 4 is 4. Let's see if that pattern holds true for this one. Is multiplying by 4 still going to work? 2 times 4, is that 8? Yes. Is 3 times 4 12? Yes. Is 4 times 4 16? Yes. So I know the way they found the pattern in the first step is they multiplied times 4. So for the first number, they multiplied times 4 because one swimmer does 4 laps. Then I noticed that they go from 4 to 200. In order to get from 4 to 200, I believe you have to multiply by 50, right? Is 4 times 50 200? I believe it is. Does that work for all of these? Is 8 times 50 400? Well, I know 8 times 5 is 40, so 8 times 50 must be 400. Yeah, so that works everywhere. Now, is 16 times 50 800? I could always do some side work to check it. 16 times 50, that's 0, 0, 0, 0, carry the 3, and that's an 8. Yeah, so that works, right? So in this pattern, the missing instruction, or the missing step, I should say, is multiply by 800. All right, let's look at the next one. In number 2, they're asking us to find the total cost per box if there was 18 boxes. Let's back up and take a closer look at this. The question, first of all, asks, multiply the number of pounds by blank to find the total cost. So let's start examining the data and seeing if we could find the pattern. To start off with, if there's 1 box, it equals 3 pounds. So we can assume that each box holds a total of 3 pounds because 1 times 3 is 3. If there's 3 pounds, it costs $12. So think in your head, what would that mean each pound cost? If 3 pounds is $12, how much would each pound cost? It'd be 4, right? So each box holds 3 pounds, and each pound cost $4. Let's check and make sure we're right about that by looking at the next set of data. If there were 2 boxes, it would equal 6 pounds. So again, they multiplied by 3. That makes sense. They multiplied by 3. There's 3 pounds per box. And if there's 6 boxes, it's $24. And earlier I said that would mean that each box, or each pound, is $4. And 6 times 4 is 24. Very good. So in the question they ask us above, it says, multiply the number of pounds by what to get the cost? So what do we multiply the pounds by to get the cost? We multiply by 4. So I'm going to put 4 here. With that being said, what do you think goes here? If there's 18 pounds and it's $4 per pound, how much is the cost for 6 boxes? Remember, 18 pounds, $4 each. I can't do 18 times 4 in my head. Maybe you can. So I'm going to do some side work. 8 times 4 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So the missing number would be 72. All right, hopefully you're starting to get it, guys. I'm going to do one more with you, and then I suggest trying number 4 on your own. All right, so let's do number 3 together. In this one, they're looking at number of cars, how many hours they drive, and how many miles that is. So for every one car, there's 2 hours of driving. And for every 2 hours of driving, there's 130 miles. How do you get from 2 to 130? You know, if you're not sure how to get from 2 to 130, you're like, do you multiply by 10? No, that's 20. Do you multiply by 20? No, that's only 40. There's a step that you could do to figure it out. You could do the inverse operation to solve it. You could take 130 and go backwards and divide that by 2 if you wanted to. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to leave myself a little bit more space and do it up above. Let's do 130 divided by 2. I'm going to start off by guessing, I don't know, 50? That would get me 100 with 30 remaining. And this time I'm going to guess 15, which would equal 30 with no remainder. So my answer would be 65. Now, that doesn't mean 65 goes here. Remember what we were trying to figure out here. We're trying to figure out what you multiply 2 times to equal 130, and I said it's 65. Let's make sure that that's true. Let's always check our work. So I'm going to do 2 times 65. All right, do some side work up here. 65 times 2. And that would equal 10, 13, 130. Does that check out? Yes, it does. All right, so we found out that our missing math pattern is to multiply by 65. So in order to find this guy, we've got to multiply times 65. So I'm going to put 65 here. And let's solve this one, which is 8 times 65. 65 times 8 equals 40. And this would be 48 plus 4 is 52. So I'm going to go with 520. So our answer would be 520. All right, last one, you guys. You're on your own. Let me erase some of this so you can see what's going on here. The last one says, multiply the number of hours to find, or by blank to find the amount earned. Here's the chart you're looking at. For every day, there's 8 hours of work, I'm assuming, and $96 earned. So you got to figure out how much money they earn per hour and find that missing number. All right, go ahead and try it on your own. I'm going to pause it, erase the board, and then I'll answer with you. Go ahead and pause the video now.